The Erinyes/Erinyes sing. Erinyes/RNS Ra-NS/Erinyes Erinyes 1 Ancient Greek epsilon rho iota nu upsilon epsilon sigma place of epsilon rho iota nu upsilon sigma 2 also known as the Eumenides, commonly known in English as the Furies, were female chthonic deities of vengeance in ancient Greek religion and mythology. A formulaic oath in the Iliad invokes them as the Erinyes that under earth take vengeance on men whosoever hath sworn a false oath. 3 Walter Burkett suggests that they are an embodiment of the act of self-cursing contained in the oath, for they correspond to the dir in Roman mythology. 5 The Roman writer Maurus Servius Honorius wrote co. 400 add that they are called Eumenides in hell, fury on earth, and dir in heaven. 6 7 Erinyes are akin to some other Greek deities called Poni. According to Hesiod's Theogony, when the Titan Cronus castrated his father Uranus and threw his genitalia into the sea, the Erinyes along with the giants and the Malai emerged from the drops of blood which fell on the earth Gaia, while Aphrodite was born from the crests of sea foam. 9 According to variant accounts, 10 They emerged from an even more primordial level from Nyx night, or from a union between air and Mother Earth. 11 While in Virgil's Aeneid they are daughters of Pluto Hades. 12 and Nox Nyx. 13 Their number is usually left indeterminate. Virgil, probably working from an Alexandrian source, recognized 3 Electo or Electo endless anger, Megara jealous rage, and Tisiphone or Tulphasia vengeful destruction, all of whom appear in the Aeneid. Dante Alighieri followed Virgil in depicting the same 3-character triptych of Erinyes in Canto X of the Inferno. They confront the poets at the gates of the city of Dis. Whilst the Erinyes were usually described as 3 maiden goddesses, the Erinyes Telphasia was usually a by-name for the wrathful goddess Demeter, who was worshipped under the title of Erinyes in the Arcadian town of Thelpisa. The word Erinyes is of uncertain etymology. Connections with the verb omicron rho iota nu epsilon iota nu orinin to raise, stir, excite, and the noun epsilon rho iota sigma eris strife have been suggested. Beeks, pp. 458–459, has proposed a pre-Greek origin. The word Erinyes in the singular and as a theonym is first attested in Mycenaean Greek, written in Linear B in the following forms: e renew and e renewy. These words are found on the KNFB1, KNV 5214, and KNFH 390 tablets. The Erinyes live in Erebus and are more ancient than any of the Olympian deities. Their task is to hear complaints brought by mortals against the insolence of the young to the aged, of children to parents, of hosts to guests, and of householders or city councils to suppliants, and to punish such crimes by hounding culprits relentlessly. The Erinyes are crones, and depending upon authors described as having snakes for hair, dogs' heads, coal-black bodies, bats' wings, and bloodshot eyes. In their hands they carry brass-studded scourges, and their victims die in torment. 16. The Erinyes are commonly associated with night and darkness, with varying accounts claiming that they are the daughters of Nyx, the goddess of night. They're also associated with darkness in the works of Aeschylus and Euripides in both their physical appearance and the time of day that they manifest. 17. Description of Tisiphone, in Statius Thebaid. So prayed he, and the cruel goddess turned her grim visage to hearken. By chance she sat beside dismal Cocytus, and had loosed the snakes from her head and suffered them to lap the sulphurous waters. Straightway, faster than fire of Jove or falling stars, she leapt up from the gloomy bank. The crowd of phantoms gives way before her, fearing to meet their queen. Then journeying through the shadows and the fields dark with trooping ghosts, he hastens to the gate of Tynarus, whose threshold none may cross, and again return. Day felt her presence, night interposed her pitchy cloud and startled his shining steeds. Far off towering Atlas shuddered, and shifted the weight of heaven upon his trembling shoulders. Forthwith rising aloft from Meles vale, she eased her on the well-known way to Thebes, for on no errand is she swifter to go and to return, not kindred Tartarus itself pleases her so well. 100 horned snakes erect shaded her face, the thronging terror of her awful head. Deep within her sunken eyes there glows a light of iron hue, as when Atrician spells make travailing Phoebe redden through the clouds suffused with venom. Her skin distends and swells with corruption. A fiery vapor issues from her evil mouth, bringing upon mankind thirst unquenchable, and sickness and famine and universal death. From her shoulders falls a stark and grisly robe, whose dark fastenings meet upon her breast. Atropos and Proserpine herself fashion her this garb anew. Then both her hands are shaken in wrath, the one gleaming with a funeral torch, the other lashing the air with a live water snake. According to Hesiod, the Furies sprang forth from the spilled blood of Uranus, when he was castrated by his son Cronus. 19 According to Aeschylus Oresta, they are the daughters of Nyx. In Virgil's version they are daughters of Pluto, Hades and Nox. Nyx. 20 In some accounts, they were the daughters of Erinyes, a name for Earth, and Cronus. 21 Or of Earth and Phorcys, i.e. the sea. 22 In Orphism, they are the daughters of Hades and Persephone. Council famed, holy and pure. From Jove terrestrial, Zeus caged Thonios, Hades born, and Proserpine Persephone, whom lovely locks adorn, whose piercing sight, with vision unconfined, surveys the deeds of all the impious kind, on fate attendant, punishing the race with wrath severe of deeds unjust and base. Dark-colored queens, whose glittering eyes are bright with dreadful radiant life-destroying light, eternal rulers terrible and strong, to whom revenge and tortures dire belong, fatal and horrid to the human sight, with snaky tresses wandering in the night either approach, and in these rites rejoice. For ye I call with holy suppliant voice. Myth fragments dealing with the Erinyes are found among the earliest extant records of ancient Greek culture. The Erinyes are featured prominently in the myth of Orestes, which recurs frequently throughout many works of ancient Greek literature. Featured in ancient Greek literature from poems to plays, the Erinyes form the chorus and play a major role in the conclusion of Aeschylus's dramatic trilogy, the Oresta. In the first play Agamemnon, King Agamemnon returns home from the Trojan War, where he is slain by his wife Clytemnestra, who wants vengeance for her daughter Iphigenia, whom Agamemnon had sacrificed to obtain favorable winds to sail to Troy. In the second play, the libation bearers, their son Orestes has reached manhood and has been commanded by Apollo's oracle to avenge his father's murder at his mother's hand. Returning home and revealing himself to his sister Electra, Orestes pretends to be messenger, bringing the news of his own death to Clytemnestra. He then slays his mother and her lover Aegisthus. Although Orestes' actions were what Apollo had commanded him to do, Orestes has still committed matricide, a grave sacrilege. 28 Because of this he is pursued and tormented by the terrible Erinyes, who demand yet further blood vengeance. In the Eumenides, Orestes is told by Apollo at Delphi that he should go to Athens to seek the aid of the goddess Athena. In Athens, Athena arranges for Orestes to be tried by a jury of Athenian citizens, with her presiding. The Erinyes appear as Orestes' accusers while Apollo speaks in his defense. The trial becomes a debate about the necessity of blood vengeance, the honor that is due to a mother compared to that due to a father, and the respect that must be paid to ancient deities, such as the Erinyes, compared to the newer generation of Apollo and Athena. The jury vote is evenly split. Athena participates in the vote and chooses for acquittal. Athena declares Orestes acquitted because of the rules she established for the trial. 30 Despite the verdict, the Erinyes threaten to torment all inhabitants of Athens and to poison the surrounding countryside. Athena, however, offers the ancient goddesses a new role as protectors of justice, rather than vengeance, and of the city. She persuades them to break the cycle of blood for blood, except in the case of war, which is fought for glory, not vengeance. While promising that the goddesses will receive due honor from the Athenians and Athena, she also reminds them that she possesses the key to the storehouse where Zeus keeps the thunderbolts, defeated the other older deities. This mixture of bribes and veiled threats satisfies the Erinyes, who are then led by Athena in a procession to their new abode. In the play, the Furies are thereafter addressed as semi-venerable ones, as they will now be honored by the citizens of Athens and ensure the city's prosperity. In Sophocles' play Oedipus at Colonus, it is significant that Oedipus comes to his final resting place in the grove dedicated to the Erinyes. It shows that he has paid his penance for his blood crime, as well as come to integrate the balancing powers to his early over-reliance upon Apollo, the god of the individual, the sun and reason. He is asked to make an offering to the Erinyes and complies, having made his peace.